For this afternoon, or in the Philippines, for this evening, you're going to witness an auspicious event. We're going to listen to an inspirational talk for this afternoon, wherein we're going to be inspired. We're going to really realize a lot of things about what we have right now and what we are looking forward to. Of course, we'll be listening to the wonderful speeches of our outgoing presidents and, of course, the plans and the things that we need to look forward to from our incoming president. Of course, we're going to also see the induction ceremonies of our new members. As you all know, the backbone of every club is its members, and let us all welcome them with zeal and candor. With no further ado, let me introduce to you the next presenter. Our next presenter will introduce our keynote speaker for this afternoon. To me, he is a dear friend. He is a kababayan. To me, I always look up to him because he is such an overall achiever, not just in his chosen profession, but also at Toastmasters. He is a coach, a mentor, and a dear friend. Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our keynote speaker for this afternoon, please help me welcome Dr. DTM Sean Louis Sabico.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Harris. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening to our guests, if you are watching from the Philippines, and good evening to our distinguished speaker. It is my honor to introduce you tonight. And I had the CV that was given to me by our Madam President. I will read them all. It's a bit condensed, and then later on, I will give my remarks. Our distinguished speaker for today obtained her Bachelor of Science in Commerce, major in Business Management, Master's in Business Administration, both in De La Salle University, Manila. She has been an account assistant, executive secretary to the president at the Philippine Veterans Bank, corporate banking and remedial management account officer, assistant manager in Orient Bank, corporate banking officer, manager, Philippine Savings Bank. And she has also been a direct sales head, MIS, and sales support head, assistant vice president up to 2005, personal loans business head and assistant vice president, branch network head, and at this time, she is the chief bank assurance officer at AXA Philippines, Makati City from October 2016 up to present, and the senior vice president for Citibank in Quezon City, Philippines. I did not explicitly mention some of the years because I saw her a while ago virtually, and I can say that she looks really, really young. I asked our Madam President what she thinks of our distinguished speaker. She gave me these key adjectives. She is a bit intimidating, but she is also very strict, approachable, defender, protector, and as we go along, one thing became increasingly clear, that her source of inspiration has been our distinguished speaker. That and that alone has made her earn mine and, of course, the rest of the club's sincerest and most earnest respect. Fellow Toastmasters, let us all give a warm of applause to our distinguished speaker for today, Madam Dominic Valerie Hubalde-Lopretti, also known as Minnie.
Thank you very much for that very warm introduction, and I just wanted to say pleasant good evening to the men and women of Riyadh PICPA Toastmasters. I'm quite actually intimidated to be here with you tonight, no? By the fact that I'm surrounded with you all who may have all completed no public speaking skills, leadership skills, and here I am in front of you that being on a what do you call this? I feel like I'm on a graded recitation, so to speak. No, but I do hope that you will cut me a bit of slack. So thank God for virtual sessions. Pero as a matter of fact, kidding aside, I would I'm less nervous when it's face to face. So if I'm standing probably in front of you in a whole session, and I think Lillian will attest to that, I can speak. But when it comes to video conferencing, I'm kind of intimidated. Seeing my face also on the screen is quite intimidating. So when Lillian that approached me through Messenger to address you all today, the normal reaction that I had is what, why me? Actually, it took me a few days, I think, no, Lillian, before I really answered. And given actually your primary objective of driving excellence as a team, as an organization, I immediately felt that, yeah, I can do this and hopefully be able to share with you a few things that I've learned through the years, no, over the years as a leader in both multinational companies in the Philippines. So to begin with is that I believe from my end, I know that I don't know if you would agree with me, but I believe that leaders are not born; they are made. No, so being the eldest among a family of 10, believe me, it was not easy. I had to learn how to lead at an early age. So why did I say I wasn't born with it? As we were growing up, we had household chores every left and right, and I had to make my siblings do their chores. And at first, we had it was rather easy because they would rather play at home than do the chores, no. So there was a time that I thought that I would just do what I have to do and then let them do what they have to do. At the end of the day, my parents actually scolded me. So I got the whipping, I got scolded because you're the eldest, so the box stops at you, you have to be able to do this. So at an early age, no, I was taught to actually I learned a lot about negotiation and influencing at an early age. So because no, what happened was that it was like sort of a psychological treatment. So if you have kids today, you can actually do that and do make your eldest actually work on it because they will be able to be future leaders also someday. So which is what I did. So all I did was say, you want to play? Okay, you can do it. You want to do video games? You want to, well, at that time, there's no video games yet. So if you want to play, go ahead, you can do that. But can you help me first clean the kitchen? Can you help me first bring the laundry, etc.? So you're not actually demanding to have them finish the job, but you are making them feel that it is not their job. They are there to help me. So at an early stage in my life, moving around with my siblings entailed a lot of influencing and negotiation. But believe me, at times when they would throw tantrums, I would always bring out I'm the eldest card, and which can also happen in the workplace. So as you grow up, I was actually when we were growing up, I was able to bring my learnings at home, being the eldest at actually school organizations that I was part of, even in the workplace, no, that I feel that one of the strengths that I have is leading actually a large team. And the biggest team that I've actually handled is the one that I have no, with AXA Philippines, wherein I manage about 800 employees nationwide. So all over the Philippines, from Apari down to Holo or Zamboanga. No? So in Citibank, it was managing both employees and indirect employees, which are third-party agencies that were, I think, over 1,000 individuals. So what I will be sharing with you today, just indulge me a bit. Let me just share my screen with you. Is that there you go. So I do hope no that I will be able to impart to you some of the tips, and hopefully, you're all able to see, you'll all be become better leaders here at FIFA, or even in your respective workplace. So, as I said a while ago, being really on team orientation, it's basically in any organization, we always talk about collaboration and teamwork, but always so often, because of it being too much work, there's a lot of work that entails being in an organization such as this. The appointed leaders normally will just be the ones to carry on the torch. So when we talk of team orientation, it's being able to encourage every member to participate and collaborate. And when you are able to encourage them to collaborate, no, for you to be able to encourage them to participate and collaborate, it now becomes a collective effort. So, as I mentioned to you, no, being able to do that, we need to focus on a few things. And what are the things that we need to focus on? It's basically being able to look at what are the goals of the organization. Next is that the well-being, of course, of each member of the organization, and really what motivates you guys. That's one of the things that you really need to focus on. If you are able to focus on that, then everything, now, if we're able to understand all these and put them together, we are able now to work efficiently with others. So what can we do to achieve this, diba? So here are the benefits, no, of organizations that are really, really, driving this, driving a team-oriented organization. So one is you will improve morale, resulting, of course, to better attendance. You don't need to even check, you don't even to push, or you didn't even to move invites, or tell them to, or call them like a day before. They will come in, they will be early, they will be there. There are also more and better inputs coming from each and every member. They become very engaged, they answer, they participate in any discussion, and they are also equally productive. So what are the things that we should do, no? So on being able to achieve a team-oriented organization, allow me to share with you a few tips, that I've learned doing in the workplace, and even the years that I've also been a member of several organizations here in the Philippines. So the first one is diversity awareness. And what does it mean? No? It's basically being aware and respectful and always embracing the variety or diverse aspects of every human race, religion, ethnicity, depending on even on their age, gender identity, some expressions that they do, or even the ability or their disability, their politics, whatever it is that they parties that they follow, class, and sexuality. So first thing, I just wanted to let you know, did you know, as far as diversity is concerned, the top 20 companies, and this is a survey, from Fortune 500, the top 20 companies today, all over the world, embrace diversity and have included diversity and inclusion in their corporate advocacies today. Second is that in 2021 alone, you would see now that the number of women who are CEOs running the business of top Fortune 500 already hit an all-time high of 41. So women are starting to be CEOs of major companies worldwide. And did you also know that the Philippines ranks number 8 in the Global Diversity Index, with Norway as number 1, and we are actually way up ahead the US, as far as diversity index is concerned. The second that I wanted to share with you as a tip, is encouraging open dialogue. So, syempre, when we are going in an organization, I remember one time where in this association that I used to be, I was a member of it and I was the secretary. So I would normally attend and be there to meet up. And every time we start the meeting, it turns out to be a session of talking about anyone you know about. After that, I stopped attending. So when you encourage open dialogue, it's actually being comfortable and openly sharing whatever your concerns are, or even ideas, without even judging them, and you'll be surprised that sometimes the members would have a solution all along. Warning only is that even if you're the one leading this kind of open dialogue, that kind of open communication can also feel threatening to the one who's leading it. Why is that? Because sometimes open dialogues like this, you become the punching bag. So every concern, every complaint, everything, they will just air it out to you if you want to hear them. They mumble. They talk about anything out of topic sometimes, and it veers away, no, from the objective of that particular conversation, which is kind of hard as well. And then they complain about everything under the sun. They complain about probably the weather, the government, or whatever you have to think about. They complain about everything, not even being focused on what you want to be able to discuss. And then sometimes in EMI or too much information, because they become a session now to open up how I feel about what's happening with my family, with my husband, with my wife, etc., etc. So there's like a lot of too much information that makes the leader who's really actually doing the open dialogue burdened by all these emotions that are going on left and right. And sometimes it becomes also a rumor mongering session. And that's why that particular association that I was there, no, I had to stop attending because of it was just becoming so toxic. So here are a few tips, and I wanted to share with you, for you to be able to encourage an open dialogue. First is that, of course, you always have to keep the goal in mind. Make sure that you focus, and if it sways to the left or to the right, move them back. No. This is the goal. This is that we need to talk about. These are the things that we need to be able to do and accomplish today. Second is that keep your phone on silent mode and move it away from you so that you can be here now. Focus on the discussion, eye contact, and be able to have that discussion openly without looking at your watch, neither looking at your phone, because being here now encourages also everybody to listen and be at present with the dialogue that you are having. Third, try to have suggestions, because at the end of the day, you don't have the solutions. The people around you may have that solution. So ask those suggestions and try to write it down, and maybe as a group discuss what are the things that you feel you can do all together. Third, and last but not the least, of course, give credit where credit is due. If that person gave a very, very exciting suggestion or even an idea, give that credit, no? I just have one suggestion, when you enter into an open dialogue. This always works for me, and I hope it works for you. In any meeting, you can do it. You can do it here in your meetings, or even you can do it in the workplace before meeting with your team members. Before you start, what you can do is do quick check-ins. Not talking about work, not talking about the session, talking about you. Oh, can we do some quick check-in? Maybe pick up 2-3 people who can share what happened to their day, what happened to their week, just sharing. And when they share their check-ins, no, you will notice that they are engaged. They lighten up. The facade. It no longer becomes a stressful session because you talked about. He was able to share a little bit of himself. No, what happened to him or her yesterday, the other day, last week, etc. And after all the sessions or the check-in session is done, go straight now to the agenda and work on the inputs and go back to the conversation and try to sway to make sure that you go back on track. No sidetracks. Okay. The next one is working on team projects. I know as in any organization, you guys know, come up with projects that you can do as a group, or maybe split the whole organization in 3 or 4 groups, because it fosters actually shared purpose and responsibility. At the same time, if you accomplish something as a team, no, there's that feeling of achievement that you are able to accomplish it as a team and not individually. So some of the things, so for team projects that you, and some tips that I want to be able to use, come up with team projects that you feel that can help the organization. Volunteer. If they don't volunteer, you can actually say, what we call it is, you can tell somebody that's your strength. Maybe you want to sign up for that. You can always do that. And then do those weekly sessions or meetings that you need to be able to do. Engage yourself so that you are able to agree on common times. No, if you agree on common times to meet up and discuss, do always and go to that open dialogue that I mentioned a while ago. And of course, last but not the least, I come I am back. Okay, so I got kicked out a few minutes ago. Let me just share my screen again. I don't know if you're seeing it, but I'm all towards the few more slides. I just have a few more slides to talk about. So basically, so one of the things that I experience, and sometimes a leaderless project can be very good. What does this mean? You just form the team and just make them talk. If that's the project that they want to be able to do, make them talk. And you will be surprised because somebody will emerge as a leader. And when somebody comes out and emerges as a leader, then the project actually goes smoothly. Sometimes it's effective. Okay, next is best practice or knowledge sharing. It harnesses teamwork and your organization thrives. Unfortunately, people are not open to share, not open to talk about what they know because of what? Number one, they have trust issues. They don't trust each and everyone. So it's hard for you to really crack that door. Some people would always feel that it eats so much time. I don't want to be working on this. I won't be able to manage my time fairly. The third one is there's really no platform or best practice platform or a platform that you can convey what you want to be able to share. People are scared because they may be judged. And true enough, in this world, there's a lot of people who would judge you. You look at IG, there's a lot of bashes also. You go to TikTok, that's also the same story. You'll see bashes left and right. So it's kind of scary also to go into these kind of sessions because of that. And there's that notion that, we have our leaders, let them do it. I'd rather rely on them. I would not muddy myself. No, I'm not going to go through that. And how are we able to encourage best practice or knowledge sharing? We need to be able to know what motivates each and every member. If you're able to know what motivates them, they will talk to you endlessly. They'll talk about anything under the sun. And when you are able to hit that core that motivates them, you can sit back and relax and do not talk at all because they will handle that. It's like handling a microphone when you're in a karaoke, and whoever holds into the microphone just holds onto it till the early morning already because he sings straight. At first, they won't sing. Remember, when you go to videokes or karaoke, they won't sing. That's a typical Filipino, right? They won't sing. But the moment that they hold the microphone and they go to whatever repertoire they are singing, they'll sing to their heart's content, and then it will be hard for you to take out the microphone. So try to see what really motivates them and drive it across. Okay? And remember, always good vibes only. You cannot work on you can't do best sharing or best knowledge sharing if there's no good vibes. So that's one of the things that I want to be able to share with you. Some of our issues today is really being able to actively listen. And sometimes the biggest communication problem is that we do not listen to understand. We listen to reply. Can you see? It's like It's like going into the debate, right? You don't even listen to the question. You even cut. It's like being able to protect, defend, etc. Active listening means, let me understand where you're coming from. What do you want to say again? And be able to share what your point of view is and send it across. So it's very, very important, for active listening. Last but not the least is basically, being professional. So I just wanted to say that good principles, having the right values is very good, but they don't make good people. It's the actions that we do make you a good person. So as far as professionalism is concerned, the tips that I wanted to share with you how to become professional is basically first and foremost, learn the rules of the organization. So I like that the way that you started it off, this session wherein you recite the Toastmaster creed, that you have, and try to read through the rules. Now, what is it that I need to be able to contribute in this organization? Your appearance as you come to the table, come to a meeting, come to wherever session that you have, is very, very important as well. And the demeanor that you come into a meeting. So it's very important that you can be viewed as somebody who is open and is able to share or even listen to what is being presented in the meeting. Always keep yourself updated. Look at the manuals, look at the reports, maybe you can tweet about it, or maybe it's in your Instagram, whatever social media that you guys are in. Stay updated because it's very important to know what's going on with the organization that you are in. Courtesy and respect works both ways. So if you want to be able to be respected and be able to be shown courtesy, it has to be the same thing. Sometimes being leaders like us, we are already way up there. People always think that to respect you because of your title, when in fact, that is the most, how will I put it? It's sublime way of being able to gain respect. But I think to gain respect is being able to do to others what you want them to do to you. That's how it is for me. In meetings and in everything that you go through, avoid gossiping and talking about other people, and even politicking sometimes that we normally would do. And the last but not the least is ARA. And this is one of the good verbatims that I have, is it's being always available, reliable, and always attentive, to every session that you are in. So with that, I'd like to end by summarizing what I presented to you today. So being diversity awareness is very, very important for you to be able to achieve a team-oriented organization. Be able to encourage each and everyone to, in an open dialogue, sessions wherein they're not judged, they can freely, speak their minds out. Work on team projects so that you can get to see teamwork and make people thrive. And even the organization will thrive with you. Do share always, what best practices that you've done, even in the workplace, and you want to bring it in the organization, you can do so. Some of the things that I'm giving to you today are some of the things that I do, in the workplace. And sometimes it can also work at home. I'm not kidding. You can do this also with your kids or with your husband, with your wife. You can go and do an open dialogue if you want to. Next is to actively, but this is the hardest part, and sincerely listen. Because sometimes we listen by our ears, but not with our heart. So if you want to really hear, actively listen through your heart. That's one of the things that you need to be able to harness. And the last but not the least is always be professional. So with that, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for inviting me here today. And I do hope that I was able to share a little bit of what I've learned through the years, being a leader and being in the corporate world. So thank you. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much, Madam Winnie, for that wonderful presentation of yours. And as a Leo myself, I have always believed in the word I, but after presentation, I have opened up into the new possibilities of a collaborative team. Thank you so much for those wonderful words and inspiration, and also the spot on points. I have really taken down notes here on my pad here, and it's really really helpful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a big round of applause. And in appreciation of the great organization Tikparia Toastmasters Club, let me present to our keynote speaker the plaque of appreciation. And the text goes, Tikparia Toastmasters Club presents this plaque of appreciation to Dominic, Valerie, Hubalde-Lopretti for uplifting the spirit of the members by being the guest speaker during the induction of new officers and members of Tikpa Riyadh Toastmasters Club for the second term program year 2021-2022. Given this 28th day of January 2022 via Zoom, signed by the President, Toastmaster Lilian Beldad, and signed by the event chair, Toastmaster Rosel Sazon. Ladies and gentlemen, a big, thunderous round of applause to our keynote speaker, Madam Minnie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. And for a photo opportunity, Madam Winnie, kindly stay on your screen. Let us just have some photo opportunity with our 44,000 viewers. Right now, we have 44,000 viewers in our online Zoom meeting. And I do hope that our team is taking a screenshot of Madam Minnie, too, together with our audience as well. Our audience, kindly switch on your camera so that we can have a photo opportunity with our keynote speaker. Also present in our online Zoom meeting are the students of Ateneo de Davao University, classmates of our dear theoreticians in their masteral class. Thank you so much for gracing our event. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And I know that you have learned a lot from our keynote speaker.